Hello and welcome back to the Perth to Paisley podcast, episode number 128, as Hearts fell kind of expectantly to a 2-0 loss against Celtic, but it did not happen in the way that many or pretty much all Hearts fans expected it to. I, as ever, am Daniel McIver, joined by Adam Kennedy. Adam, how you doing?
I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. Yeah, I hate this time of the season. Do you know that? I really
Yeah.
do. Like even watching other leagues, like when teams start having nothing to play for, like the whole romanticism and my idea of football was just ripped away. Like I just think about players that have just sacked it off and others that are just scrapping away, and it just, I don't know. It's not great. But I can't accuse the Hearts players of being on holiday anyway. That's for sure. So
Absolutely.
yeah, all's relatively well in my world. Done with uni as well. So
Yes.
that's third year done. So yeah, life's a lot more stress free. But yeah, good. How are you?
Good. I'm doing very well as well. I'm glad to hear that you've got less work to do. That's very helpful. But yeah, doing fine. Just in a state of surprise after yesterday's game, because we are recording this on Monday. It's going out on Tuesday because I am getting fibre internet installed and I didn't want to risk it not working. And then we didn't get a podcast out because I'm constantly thinking about the listeners.
So selfless.
Exactly.
Unbelievable. Love that from you.
Exactly. So we will, as ever, start around the grounds before we get into our game. And we've got a whole bunch of games to speak about, as there was a full card of action over the weekend in multiple leagues, which will make sense in a minute. But sticking with the Premiership, on Saturday, there was 4 games. St Johnstone kind of put an end to the Jim Goodwin revival as Steve McLean, former Hearts player in interim charge at McDermott Park, got his first win, 1-0 over Dundee United. Ross County stopped the rot as well, as Livingston definitely didn't, as they won 2-0 at home. Motherwell continued doing really well after a little bump that they previously had, as they also won 2-0 against Kilmarnock. And Hibs kind of really boosted their chance of getting into the top 5 positions with a 2-1 win over St Mirren. Then on the Sunday was our game, and then Rangers narrowly defeated Aberdeen 1-0 at Ibrox. Before we get into our game, what did you make of the other 5?
Start with the bottom 6 first. Motherwell are going to finish 7th. I think that's pretty abundantly clear. I'd be shocked if they didn't. Kevin Van Veen is just on fire. I take it you've seen did you see his goal?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that touch is just exquisite. And the finish, oh, beautiful.
How old is he now? Is he 30?
30 or 31, I think. Yeah.
Because I was going to say, you don't expect, like, when someone's had the goal scoring that he's had this season, you often go, oh, well, they're probably going to get a bigger move, like a lot bigger clubs than Motherwell. But with his age, you probably think, just stay at Motherwell and become like a legend.
A bit of a cult hero.
Yeah.
I mean, 10 goals in 7 games. Genuinely, bar Erling Haaland, I can't think of anybody that's in such fine form.
Yeah. Lacazette got 5 the other night
Mate,
in one
what
game.
About that Leon game was an absolute joke. What did it end up 5-4 or something?
5-4, right.
Bedlam.
Get Van Veen over in League One.
There we go. Van Veen and Lacazette. Leon fans can only dream. Look, Dundee United shocked that St Jobbie won a game. That's not a familiar feeling. Dundee United, they were in fine form heading into that. I think it was 3 straight wins.
Yeah.
I heard that they hadn't won 4 straight since 2013. Had I known that, I might have stuck down a wee draw or something. But the home team never wins that, because when I was doing my research, it's like 12 games or something like that. So since September 2015, I think Saints have won 4 times at Tannadice against United, and United 3 times at McDermott against St Johnstone, which is just really, really bizarre. The other game, Ross County, Livingston, man. What has happened?
I don't know.
What is going on? There'll still be some Hearts fans that want Martindale to get the job as well. No. I'm nothing against Davy Martindale. I do like the job that he's doing.
I really like him.
But, like, what has happened?
No.
Top 6 is a formality. Like, they're lucky that they've probably accrued as many points as they have to not be dragged. I thought St Johnstone were going to get dragged, obviously, till they win against United. But County will be looking at it thinking, Kelly got beat, United got beat. I think they go to within a point of them both. So maybe it's not as done as some of us, i.e. me, thought.
Yeah.
Hibs 2, St Mirren 1, called that spot on, but St Mirren, Jesus wept. The nick of both Hibs goals.
I know,
My
yeah, especially
goodness gracious
Yuan's.
me.
Yuan's
Oh,
is insane.
what? Marcus Fraser's been so solid for them this season. That touch is horrific.
Yeah.
And even losing Fish at the back stick, like one of
Yeah.
their only big players.
Yeah.
It's absolutely mental. Speaking of fine goals, great goal by Todd Cantwell for Rangers.
Aye.
Nice of them to do us a favour for once, but again, could have done with you beating them up there. Yeah, really worried that Hibs might catch us.
It'll be interesting. We've got. I'll have a
because now that Celtic have won the league, do they again?
They're going for the records points total though.
I know, but does that really matter in the grand scheme of things?
I think now it does that they've won it with games to spare. I think Postecoglou will go, right, let's get that as well.
Yeah.
The whole mantra of we don't stop. We've heard it a fucking million times.
Don't, honestly. I'm just glad to see the back of them this season.
Yes, exactly.
Really...
And, well, we've seen the back of Celtic, but we'll be seeing the Nick of Dundee next year. Hooray!
Yay! I mean, the most underwhelming winners of perhaps the most exciting race in the championship in a wee while. That was just...
They'll just be straight back down next year, though. They'll just be straight back down.
Kelly Arbroath was great last season, but I think everybody knew that Kelly would nick it.
Yeah.
Whereas you genuinely felt like Dundee could actually piss it away. I was watching on Friday night going, oh my God, please blow this.
What a mental game as well for it to be decided in.
What I will say, fantastic advert for Scottish football. That was proper. That was brilliant. Some great goals. I mean, the boy, the Queen's Park centre half that scored that.
Why is he the best player you've ever seen?
Can't defend, but scores great goals. Because even the header that he pops up with later on as well is phenomenal.
Charlie Fox, was that his name?
I think that was his name. Yeah, Charlie Fox. Yeah, but that first strike was that was Van Basten-esque the way they plucked that out there.
And then you get McFadden just going, he's swung a leg at it, just underselling it entirely.
Quite right. He won't want to give the defender any praise. That's just a fluke. Whereas if it was a winger or a striker or something, that's fully intentional.
Yeah, absolutely. But what that means is that the top three in the championship now in the playoffs are Ayr United, your local team currently.
Can't believe they've snuck in second place for what it's worth.
Crazy. Queen's Park in third, and then Partick Thistle got in, and there's only a point separating all three teams. Ayr and Queen's Park both finished on 58, with Partick Thistle on 57, tied with Greenock Morton, but with a 10 better goal difference. Putting you on the spot, are any of those three teams getting promoted?
It's a killer for Morton. Obviously, speaking from a totally selfish point of view, I would love for Ayr United to be promoted, given that I could literally walk to Somerset for a wee away day. Do I see it happening? I feel more confident about them doing it in second than I would in third or fourth. I think the third or fourth, the fact that they play 6 games or whatever it is, to then that is just an abomination. No, I don't think so. I think it's going to be Kelly that'll occupy the playoff place, and I think they'll just have enough to stay up.
Yeah,
I'd love to see an Ayr versus Kilmarnock playoff final though, because that would be mega. Yeah,
absolutely.
So I don't know. Obviously, they get underway the night that this gets released, don't they? So I think it's Queen's Park Partick first up. Don't know who's at home in that, but
Queen's Park aren't playing. Sure. They're like there's a
because they're at Ochil View.
Yeah.
Whilst Lesser Hampden's getting done. It's an absolute. They've made a right null hunt of it, but
no idea. I would like Ayr or Partick to come up. I hope one of them comes up.
I do have a wee soft spot for the Jags as well. So I either of those. Something different. Why not?
Exactly. That's all I care about.
It's going to be whoever survives in the Premiership and Dundee up. I mean,
it's going to be Dundee and Kilmarnock occupying the bottom 2 places next year as well. Can't wait.
It's stinking, isn't it?
And we'll inevitably lose to both away from home.
Yeah, absolutely guaranteed.
Anyway, we do move on to the main focal point of this podcast. Hearts versus Celtic. If Celtic won, they knew they clinched the cinch Premiership. There was not a lot of expectation going into it. I think I predicted 5-0 Celtic.
I went for a more optimistic 3-0 Celtic.
Oh, yes, of course. So basically, neither of us expected any points from the match. And sadly, that conclusion was the case. However, the manner in which it happened was a surprise to pretty much everybody watching. But
definitely,
the team was announced, and there was only one change to the side that battered Ross County 2 weeks ago, as Nathaniel Atkinson, through an enforced injury, was replaced by James Hill, which meant Hearts lined up in a 4-2-3-1/4-3-3. Xander Clark in goals, Alex Cochrane and James Hill as fullbacks, with Toby Sibbick and Kai Rolls, 2 centre-halves, Cammy Devlin and Peter Haring as 2 centre-mids, a front three of Oda, Mackay and Gino, with Shankland as the number 9. However, as so often happens, Gino and Shankland kind of were interchanging a lot. What did you make of the team? Because I feel like the general consensus was exactly what we hoped for, but a bit worried about Hill.
Basically, yeah. I like a bit of continuity. I don't like, unnecessary changes. No changes with regards to a winning team unless they're enforced. That, of course, was the case with Natty Aka, like you said. So, yeah, was feeling all right heading into the game, actually. I don't know. I think there was a weird feeling amongst Hearts fans that might we actually get something? It's funny how you feel with regards to when you're looking at a fixture maybe like a week ahead in comparison to when you get up on the day. I feel like there was a little bit of optimism surrounding Hearts, and I don't know why. Is it just because we feel as though we had the chance to deny Celtic the title? Is it because we've seen worse Hearts teams, beat Celtic's unbeaten run? The fact that we're due some sort of win or a wee bit luck or that against them. I don't know. I don't know, but there was sort of like an underlying sense of optimism. And given the start that we made in the game, that sort of appeared pretty justified, to be honest.
Definitely. Well, speaking about the start, there's 2 highlights that I want to mention and then speak about them generally, because within 2 minutes, James Hill had a long throw that was clear, but Mackay picks it up, lofts the ball in that's met by Shankland at the far back post, heads kind of down but not completely towards Joe Hart, who tips it over the bar. However, it is eventually flagged offside. And then about 8 minutes later, in the 10th minute, Mackay swings in the corner that goes as far as Rolls at the back post, who heads it back across. However, it's not really properly cleared by Celtic, ends up back at Rolls, hits it on the volley, flashes really narrowly wide the far post. And this opening 10-15 minutes, I think a lot of Hearts fans expected it to be, that was it. We're going to have a good opening 10, but it's very surprised. But actually, the opening 10 very much set the tone for the first half. And it was a complete surprise. I think my initial worry when I saw the team was, oh God, Jota or Maeda running at Hill. That would be my worry. It started with Maeda running at Hill. First 15 minutes, Hill stopped every single thing Maeda did, so they swapped sides, and then they stopped every single thing Jota did. Shankland was getting the ball, holding it up. Cochrane was doing really well to overlap. Haring was running everything, and Gino was getting in behind. It was so weird to be seeing that against a Celtic side.
And what's even weirder is the fact that you've listed off 1 or 2 defensive players within that setup.
Yeah.
But yet you wouldn't get that impression when watching it. Hearts started really aggressively. I love that. Aggressive, on the front foot, looking to cause problems, looking to sort of chuck a spanner amongst the works, really. That would have been so against the script had Hearts taken the lead. Celtic have then got to come out, let's see what they're made of, see a little bit of response. But the 2 chances that you alluded to, I mean, obviously Shankland was offside, which was annoying, but he's on the stretch for the header anyway, because I think Barry Mackay just sends it that little bit too high, or that little bit too away from him. And the Kai Rolls chance was a weird one. I didn't think the big man had that in him. I don't know, be that adamant that he's going to get his name on the score sheet. If it drops to anybody else, bar Kai Rolls, but anybody else, bar any of the Aussies in that situation, I think we're 1-0 up. But That's just the way of it. But no, really encouraged by the start, because I'm an advocate for Hearts getting off to a fast start, regardless of the opponent. And it was encouraging to see that, given everything that Celtic had at stake, the magnitude of the game, that was all just put to one side, just treated like any other normal game at Tynecastle. Let's get on the front foot and let's make our opponents work for it.
He's not mentioned individually in any of the following highlights from Hearts TV. And I didn't mention him in that group. And some people might be saying, what are you doing? Not mentioning arguably our best player in the first half. But where has this Yutaro Oda been? Why? I think a lot of Hearts fans were understandably under Nielsen when Oda was getting 15, 20-minute spells and he wasn't really doing anything of note. There was never a time really where we were like, oh, he looks fantastic. So I think a lot of people were not writing him off, but going, right, he's for next season, fine, we'll deal with him after pre-season, we need to get something sorted. Yes, listen, it's only 2 games. And I think you can tell with Oda, he's very raw. So he's got a lot of energy, and I think his natural ability is there, but he's kind of second balls, decision making. That's what's going to come from time. Obviously, just 21 years of age, but he looks really good.
There had to have been a flaw somewhere for him to end up in Gorgie.
Yes.
Look, I think for me, the overriding thing for me is, would Robbie Nielsen, is that a regret not putting him in before sort of he has been selected?
I think Nielsen now will be thinking, oh, for God's sake,
a little change up of shape, because we were needing sort of some creativity in the middle of the park. When we were playing a 3-4-3, there wasn't anybody that sort of picked up the pockets and would look to slip Shankland in, or Ginnelly on the right, Mackay on the left. Nobody. The central midfielders and the centre halves touch the ball more than anyone.
Mm-hmm.
So he is a player that is certainly feeling the benefits of this new system, is getting to know his teammates as time progresses. But the fact that he was made the sacrificial lamb for obviously what happens later on is a real shame. For an attacking player, I'm usually one of those that says they've got to find that goal soon. But as you say, he is that little bit raw that he's showing glimpses. So the fact that we're kind of accepting that he's still got his translator there, that he's still young, he's still, adapting to this environment, still taken to Scotland, all this. In the modern day, players are seen as robots and they're expected to come in and perform immediately. I think the entire Hearts fan base has taken a look and thought to themselves, right, we don't know a lot. Let's just see how he goes. Let's try and welcome him with open arms. Let's take our time. Let's not get on his back because he's still a young man. He's got a new language to learn, new teammates to, develop an understanding with. It's going to take time. But so far, the progress in, as you say, only 2 games, again, not getting carried away, has been pretty good. So props to them for that.
Definitely. This was then Celtic kind of started to get back into it, as you would expect. 16th minute, there's a corner that they take quite quickly. We're not really paying attention, and it's headed over by Greg Taylor. I know, exactly. What a surprise. McGregor does really well. He carried the ball like 70 yards, beat 3 players, finds Hattati, who shoots from distance in a very similar place where he scored previously at Tynecastle, but it's well wide. However, that was really the only chances they had in the second half up until a certain point that we'll get to. We then have another corner, which is played in by Mackay, but Hill heads over. Then in the 40th minute, we get a free kick, which is just met at the back post by Rolls, just narrowly headed over. And I can't remember such a positive performance in a half against Celtic. I will say, I've seen a lot of people be like, where was this ever under? We've never had this good against the Old Firm with Nielsen in charge. It's like, well, we did have, obviously, earlier in the season, the 4-3 game, where, we literally scored 3 goals against the Celtic team, which is incredibly impressive.
Franklin scored a hat-trick and somehow ended up on the losing side.
Exactly. But I accept that in that game, we were never the dominant side. We were taking our chances well, we were countering well. It's a different game plan.
Yeah.
Naismith's game plan is clearly just go for it, but in a controlled way. It's not just going, all right, okay, going for it. Hearts fans just want to see 7 up top. Right, we'll just shut random things. And I think a big part of this, and it is only 2 games since he's come back in, but I think Haring is so crucial to all of this because he's so good at just controlling a game. So it means that our forward players don't need to worry as much as going, oh, shit, I need to drop back a wee bit more. And defensive players have that confidence to go, oh, okay, listen, if I make a mistake, it's okay. Haring's there. He'll be able to clean it up. And he just gets on with it and does it and keeps everything ticking.
Isn't it amazing how sometimes a player can play their best game in the stands?
How do you mean?
Whereby Peter Haring, right, so the Ross County game was his first start since what, October, correct?
Yeah.
Right. So in that time, think of the amount of central midfielders that we've tried and used, and it's not quite worked out.
Mm-hmm.
Peter Haring doesn't get that chance to then sort of wrestle his way back into the team if, I don't know, a George Grant performs, if a Robert Snodgrass performs, a Keogh, a Halliday, etc., etc., etc. Now, I don't know if it's just because Stephen Naismith has played with Peter Haring that he's well aware as to what Haring can bring.
I think Naismith said before the Ross County game that he was going to lean on the players that he had previously played with, such as Smith, Haring, because he could use them as vehicles to get his message across on the pitch.
Which makes sense because they'll have developed an understanding. I think Stephen Naismith's only hat-trick his first hat-trick for Hearts, St Mirren, Haring's the one that slides the ball through to him.
Yeah.
So they've got an understanding of one another's games. I say this like the gaffer's still going to get a game, but you know what I mean. I don't know. Is it the fact that Peter Haring's looked at all our other central midfield pairings and has thought, I'm not done at Hearts here. Mm-hmm. If I play well enough, I could stick myself in the shop window for a move elsewhere and just say bye to Hearts. Thanks for however many, 5 years or whatever the heck it is. Or alternatively, my time in Edinburgh's not up yet. I could earn another year, another 2 years. Because he and Devlin could do Haring's running for him.
Yeah, I think you saw that at the weekend where it was Haring kind of just stayed in the same
one
area.
another pretty well.
Yeah.
And just let Devlin go and press and try and win the ball back, give it back to Pedro, and we'll play. Mm-hmm. I'll be honest. I was one of them that was discarding Haring a good few games ago. But again, like Oda, it's only a couple of games.
Not me. I was sticking by him the whole time.
The yours is through sheer, I don't know. I was going to say delusion, but let's go with love. I
think love's a more appropriate and
sheer adoration, sheer sentiment. That's the word I was looking for.
Exactly.
Sheer sentiment. But he's came back with a point to prove, so props to you, Pete. Well done.
Well, speaking about players I love, let's get on to the biggest talking point of the entire game, because it was going too well, wasn't it?
Of course, yeah. Bar the goal, it was going too well. The script had been written beforehand, and Hearts had just chucked that back at the director's face and gone, not a chance of we playing that part.
And then a ball is played over the top. I can't actually remember. I think Starfelt was the one who plays it over the top. I can't really remember. However, the front three...
I think it's actually Ralston.
It might be Ralston. It comes from that side, so Ralston actually makes sense. The front three, the best front three in the league so far this season. Jota, Kyogo and Maeda get on their bikes, as they often do, and run in behind. It lands up in front of Maeda. The ball bounces ahead of him. He's done Cochrane. There's a coming together. Free kick Celtic. Cochrane gets booked. Now, before anything else, as soon as the foul went, I, who was there, obviously no replays or anything, I went, he's getting sent off. That's going to be a red card. Nick Walsh gives a yellow card.
which you were pleasantly surprised about.
I'm like, we've got away with one. Get in. But I'm obviously thinking VR is still there. And then there's a pause. VR, the longer it goes on, you're thinking, this is probably not a good sign for us. If he's asked to go and look at it, it's going to be a red. And then the wee box comes out. Nick Walsh goes over to the monitor after Willie Collum has asked him to check.
Sorry, let's see your wee box again. It's better than you and Anderson's or whatever.
It is better than you.
Halfway through, it just went, oh.
Yeah, it's fine. I feel like anybody's is better than you and Anderson's attempt. And comes back on, rescinds the yellow, sends off Cochrane. Now, obviously, as I say, I'm just there going, I thought that was going to happen. I expected that. I then, obviously, the stadium is fucking furious. As it always so. Yeah. So, at halftime comes, we'll speak about...
They've got justification to be furious this time, though.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. We'll speak about what happened there. But come halftime, I'm kind of like, oh, I'll check what the common sentiment is. Now, I follow a lot of Hearts people on Twitter, so I was expecting it to be quite one-sided. But then, because of this shitty For You tab, I end up seeing out with the Hearts bubble, and it's people like Tom English, Chris Sutton.
I was going to say, how did I know that Chris Sutton was going to be one of those names?
I've got Evan McFarlane, who's a Morton fan. Everybody universally saying it's a joke of a decision. It's never a red card. I then, through terrible quality footage as everybody's on their phone, managed to see the Sky Sports replay, and I realised it's not a red card.
In a million years.
Before I ask you your thoughts, I'll give you my opinion on the situation. I think if Nick Walsh gives a red card, I think VR would have accepted that. I think they would have went, yep, we can see why you've given that. But I don't think it's a clear and obvious error from Walsh to say, nope, you've definitely got this wrong. I think it's understandable that Walsh gave a yellow card.
Totally. And there's no need for VAR to get involved, which is the annoying thing for me. I mean, in terms of shit decisions, is this too far? I would say it's comfortably top 3, the worst decision I've probably ever seen against Hearts. In fact, it probably would reign number 1 for me.
Would you say that because there's VR? So
because
of
the additional help and the fact that they should get it right and evidently still don't.
The game that this reminded me of, going back a wee bit, is the Guidetti game. Ironically, against the same level of opposition.
You could name 5 or like a barrel load against Celtic. You know, the Guidetti dive. You've got the ghost goal that we score, and then they go up and score through Brown, I think, if memory serves. Like, even stuff like Kyogo pulling up with his hamstring last season, it gets pulled back.
So that's what I mean. I can understand that some people might go, well, look at the Guidetti situation, that's worse. But I can understand if you're saying, no, this is worse because
they should get it right and they don't.
Yeah, they didn't have VR as a crutch to be able to use.
Right. This could sound like one of these deluded Hearts daft comments.
This is what we want.
But I'm going to come out and say it anyway. The split is a nonsense, right?
Yeah.
The final 5, the SPFL, SFA, whoever is in charge of the fixtures, has looked at said 5, looked at the quintet and gone, right, well, we'll need to keep it. We'll need the derby saved because Celtic could ultimately win the league before they go to Ibrox. So we'll save that for the second week. And then they had a look and thought, who's been in rank rotten form out the remaining, 4 teams that make up the top 6? Well, Hearts have just won 6-1. But prior to that, they were a wee bit shaky. Oh, do you know what? Yeah, let's just slip that in there and give Celtic the opportunity to win the league at Tynecastle before they come to Ibrox. And then they're probably all gathering in their little office and they're all sitting, with their cups of tea and hand in hand. And they're going, oh, bloody hell. I'll tell you what a start that Hearts have made to this game. Oh, I tell you what, Celtic might have the possibility to win the league at Ibrox here. Don't know if I like this. this isn't quite going to plan. And the game goes on, and Celtic are gradually fighting their way back into it. Oh yeah! Oh! There's a foul. There's something that we could maybe slip a little cat amongst the pigeons here. Oh, Alex Cochrane. Yeah, looks to be a yellow card. Oh, does he make contact? No, there's sufficient cover in the box, but we could get away with saying that it's last man and denying a goal scoring opportunity. Yeah. We'll give Celtic the helping hand that they need. Red card, see you later, son. And then we've still got another 45 minutes for the soon-to-be champions to be crowned champions. I mean, what a total farce that is.
The thing is...
It's never a red card in a million years.
The thing is, I said after the game, I was like, it's very hard for us now and for people after the game to provide any analysis on this now, because I might be forgetting something, right? And people might go, oh, well, this, and this. I can't think of a game I've ever been at where a decision has completely killed any chance of a result for us.
I do. I can think of one. And it was the start of the season. It was very similar vibes to this game entirely. FC Zurich at Tynecastle.
Yeah, but that was that was us being an idiot. In terms of
fully, but the way that you worded that, like the referee reached the correct decision to send George Grant off. I know what you're saying.
I should have said though,
it's like the carpet's been swept under us. Yeah, totally.
I can't think of one ever that I've been at where it was just like, the officials have cost us a result. Because listen, we still have to get through another half. I understand some Hearts fans are saying if we keep 11v11, we're getting a point there. I don't know.
Minimum.
I don't know.
We don't have crystal balls, but there's every chance.
But it is like, right, we're definitely not getting anything because of this.
Yeah, and the game plan again, like, because we'd started in the ascendancy on the front foot, now it's backs to the wall and hopefully what? Shut them out. And how many teams do that?
Yeah, exactly. Cochrane is absolutely furious. Him and Ange have like a coming together with Ange tries to see something and Cochrane tells him to fuck off.
I would love for Alex Cochrane to scrap Big Ange.
It would be interesting.
That would be box office. Big Ange looks intimidating because of his size, but Cochrane's a fighter. I reckon
Cochrane's got massive shoulders as well.
Yeah,
so just body check him.
He's one of them that, like, the school bullies would look to pick on Alex Cochrane and then realise that it's a mistake.
Yeah,
big time.
Absolutely. From the ensuing free kick, by the way, Celtic do have the ball in the back of the net, but it's flagged as offside.
that would have been Scottish football of old. Had they scored an offside goal and it then be given, then service would have resumed. And then, could you imagine the meltdown after that? Imagine half time, those officials then walking off through the tunnel to the main stand, the gestures, the booing. Oh my goodness gracious me. Yeah, they're lucky that VAR intervened in the right way for once.
Exactly. You hinted at it earlier, but in all that kind of chaos, we made a substitution. Oda made way for Kingsley.
Yeah.
And listen, I can understand it. About 10 minutes before this, Oda kind of pulled up a wee bit. He felt his hamstring and stopped for a second. And kind of
a wee precaution then as well as...
Absolutely. So, because I did see a lot of people be like, why is he taking Oda? He's been one of our best attackers. I do understand it, but if it was purely tactical, I would say we should have taken Mackay off. Because I felt like, yes, Mackay's got the better ability to get us into the game, but I feel like Oda's intensity and pressing,
and his energy on the flank,
was lost completely.
You could sort of see that, and then it gives a flexibility, doesn't it? Whereby Oda could then cut in to sort of provide for Shankland and Ginnelly. Ginnelly could equally go to the left hand side, try his work at cutting in. There's that little bit more fluidity, but I'm not really that surprised it was Oda. I think it was never going to be Ginnelly because we need his raw pace over anything. And we probably feel like Barry Mackay's more established to maybe have that moment in him, whereas Oda, as you alluded to earlier, is still that little bit raw. And he was brilliant against County, but it's still early days in his Hearts career. So I think that was the right change. It was a change that obviously had to be made to try and then go to a 4-2-3 in essence, and just, like I say, sort of shut up shop and try and nick maybe one from a set piece or something like that. That would have been our best way of then trying to go on and claim all 3 points. But sadly, it wasn't to be, and it's not to do with our performance this time. It is, as you say, solely down to the official. Like, that is brutal. Like, how?
Also, right, for me, listen, that's a bad decision. And you get bad decisions and you kind of go, right, okay. For me, the second half was almost more egregious because I can't remember the specific individual who did so. But in the second half, Ginnelly was fouled up at the top far Gorgie stand corner flag. A two-handed shove, just a complete push to the ground, and we got a foul. The Celtic player didn't even get talked to, didn't get booked, nothing. Now,
Taylor, no?
It potentially was. It probably was Greg Taylor, that kind of area. Persistent fouling was constant from Celtic players. There's the Matt O'Reilly challenge on Devlin that has been spoken about all the time.
Oh, sir.
I don't think that is a second yellow when you see it back. However, he then commits another foul after that foul whilst being on a booking. That's 4 fouls, and he's been booked after 2. That for me is like, and we were just held to different standards, and that's what was so infuriating.
Do you know what's like? It's embarrassing that some Celtic fans, the more deluded amongst their support, genuinely believe that there is a refereeing conspiracy against Celtic.
Yeah, it's crazy.
They are the most dominant team since the turn of the millennium. Like, this is their 11th title in 12 seasons, back to back. They're on the verge of doing yet another treble. But still, you get some of these numpties that claim that there's a refereeing conspiracy against Celtic. It's actually a joke.
Because that was the thing. I have a Celtic fan mate, and I spoke to him after the game, and he was like, "Oh yeah, we got away with that." He's like, "We massively got away with that." He was like, "We were the better team second half, but it's very easy to be the better team second half." He was like, "You definitely deserve something from the game." And it's like, I can engage with that, but just kind of going, "Oh well, who gives a shit? Champions again."
But ultimately, like, that's absolutely no consolation to us.
Yeah,
like they come out and say that as though we're meant to just go, "Oh yeah, that's fine, we'll take that." No.
I saw on the radio or something, it might have been Sky. I wasn't sure. I never heard it. I just saw it on Twitter where Charlie Nichols said something about the Rangers game where it was like, "Oh, the result at Ibrox is irrelevant." And it's like, well, not to us. The result isn't irrelevant to us because if Aberdeen gets something, that changes our entire game plan for the rest of the season.
Come on, McIver. There's only 2 teams that matter in this country. Yeah. Where have you been living?
Exactly. Well, the second half went as every single human being who has ever watched a game of football expected. 50th minute, O'Reilly lobs.
I woke up from my nap at this point. I was devastated.
Oh,
I was in early at work, and I just wish that I'd continued sleeping.
Yeah, finds Hatate, but he chips it past the far post. Greg Taylor fires well wide from distance, and then 67th minute, Celtic get their first goal. Devlin plays a poor ball to McGregor, and I want to kind of mention Devlin because
shocking ball.
Devlin was the ultimate. It was the ultimate Devlin performance, I feel, because without the ball, he was his usual brilliant self.
Excellent. On it. Holy fuck, man. The passing was erratic at best.
It was terrible.
Oh my goodness gracious me.
So bad.
That is little, like, again, there's just this little romantic side of me that just wants he and Benny Beningame back. Because whatever Cammy has, Benny doesn't, and vice versa. Like, that, even Haring plays that pass a million times better than Cammy does. But you can't fault his energy, you can't fault his enthusiasm, his willingness to get stuck in, loves winning the ball back. But on the ball, man, just stick to what you're good at.
Yeah, exactly.
Work on your game. You've got the entire summer now. Work on your game.
It ends up at McGregor's feet. It's played over the top to Hatate, who just plays it across the face of goal. Very similar to Kyogo's goal in the Cup, where he just then taps
Just
it
like
in.
every Kyogo goal ever known to man.
Exactly.
Just darts across the centre half, sticks, gets a foot on it, bang. See ya.
And then 10 minutes later, it's to Haksabanovic, who was the sub himself.
I forget he's even still there. And again,
know,
with these rules and stuff like substitutions, like their squad's just a joke.
It was actually 3 subs combining. Haksabanovic finds Aaron Moy, who again cuts it across the face of the goal, to O, who made it 2. And that's
Meanwhile,
it.
we're looking to like a Celtic reject winger's brother.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's just,
like
we're basically in different leagues.
And a bloke on loan from Wigan.
Yeah, exactly. I will say the final thing I want to mention, it to me was like, good God, where's that James Hill been? Because I thought James Hill was man of the match.
Tell you what, I'm surprised that we didn't touch on that. I was obviously, amongst others, very angry at James Hill.
Yeah.
So yeah, humble pie a little bit there. So well done, son. It's one performance. Hope to see another.
It's one performance,
season's out,
but it's a fucking
it was a
incredible
great
performance considering the opposition.
I'm not taking anything away from him. He was fantastic, and it's massive that we've got somebody in the absence of Michael Smith, because I think neither of us are particularly great fans of Nathaniel Atkinson.
No.
Massive that we've maybe sort of shifted that right back with a square peg in a round hole.
I feel though they're both,
and usually I hate that.
I actually think Atkinson and Hill will both play games the rest of the season. I think Hill will play away at Ibrox, and I think Atkinson will play at home. Yeah, because he's more attack minded.
I could see that.
However, James Hill throws do just bamboozle defences completely. So
I'd be intrigued to see the team for Saturday, because I don't know. St Mirren are obviously very good in Paisley, as we all know, but would say, because obviously Cochrane will be suspended, is Kingsley and Hill too defensive as a fullback duo?
I know what you mean. I'm going to try and get, because I can't actually remember, I'm going to get the table up now. So St Mirren are on 44.
They have 4 points behind us.
Yeah. So everything is still very much to play for. As a result, you imagine they'll be right up for it. Because now, that's the Celtic game. Let's just go into the St Mirren preview now.
Well done on winning the league, you pricks.
Yeah, well done. Hooray. I genuinely don't know how it's going to go on Saturday, because, listen, we got beat on Sunday, and at Hibs we got beat. We then had a fantastic performance in the middle of that against Ross County. But especially in the latter 2 games, there's been so many positives to take from Naismith and his style, but both of them have been at home. This is away from home in a game that you think, basically, the bottom line is this. If we don't win this game, that's third gone. I already think third is gone anyway.
But this is like fingernail hanging.
Because basically, I saw someone say, it's like, if we basically just duplicate Aberdeen's results, if we get the same wins and same losses, beat Aberdeen, it will then go to the final day where they're away at Parkhead, we're at home against Hibs. If we win, you imagine we get third, because you imagine that. However, it's all irrelevant if we don't beat St Mirren. We need to go to somewhere where we do not have a very good record. Recently, we've actually got a no bad record, but generally, pretty poor record. We need to go win.
They're due a win in Paisley against us, I think, which is quite worrying.
Exactly.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. Why have you given me that sort
of...
that circumstance? Honest, what I would give for that.
2000 all over again.
Oh, my God. Genuinely.
So, to get third, we need to beat Aberdeen, beat Hibs, beat St Mirren, and then match Aberdeen's results against the Old Firm.
Yes. Yeah.
I will say this right now. If that happens, if from this position we get third, Naismith should get the job.
Wow.
From this position, with 4 games left, a 10-point swing with 12 available, Naismith should definitely get the job. So, I don't think he's going to do it, but it would be an insane achievement.
So what are you thinking with regards to the weekend?
I would play the exact team he started against Celtic.
I wasn't meaning team selection. I was meaning more a scoreline, but I like it.
I think it'll finish 1-1.
So die. So die. You can just see that, can't you?
I think Shankland will score, and then Gogic or Main or somebody else. Who's it? Mark O'Hara
Gallagher.
always scores just now. Yeah, Declan Gallagher. One of them will score.
Oh, set piece, bang. Yeah, thanks. Yeah,
exactly.
thanks for that.
So are you going 1-1 as well?
Yeah, I just because I like see on this show I try and find the right balance between positivity and delusion.
Mm-hmm.
I try and be as positive as I can, but I'm also a realist, and it's gone sort of too well, like under Naismith so far. That's what I meant to say with regards to the Celtic game. That's who I probably felt sorry for the most.
Yeah.
Alongside the players, like Naismith's trying his damnedest to get the job.
Mm-hmm.
A win over Celtic, and we'd be, particularly with Rangers beating Aberdeen at Ibrox, we'd be starting to feel a heck of a lot better about things.
I have seen somebody say
it's these sliding door moments of football whereby that Cochrane red doesn't happen, which isn't his fault. Like Naismith's chances of now landing the permanent job are sort of scuppered or not as high as they once were. It's shit, man. I really did feel for Nazy.
Yeah, I saw someone say that if we beat St Mirren and Aberdeen and Hibs draw, there's only 2 points between us, and we've still got to play Aberdeen. And I'm like, it's creating too perfect a scenario, and it's just not going to happen. Aberdeen will beat Hibs, we'll get scudded in Paisley, and they'll be like, all right, okay, 8 points.
This is the difficult thing. We probably wouldn't want Hibs to beat Aberdeen.
No, we want a draw. A draw is the dream.
But we host both Hibs and Aberdeen.
Yeah, a draw is still the dream, though, because it means that as long as we win.
Yeah, well, that's exactly. So
yeah, we need to win.
The various stipulations. Oh God! Look, don't throw in the towel.
That's the message to the point. Yeah, it doesn't matter if Adam and Daniel for the Perth to Paisley podcast have. Just Naismith. I hope Naismith
in the towel.
I hope Naismith's like post-match team talk to them was just, if we play like that against St Mirren, we'll win.
So lots of that. Do that, and it is right. It is right. We play with that intensity, that same application with the players we've got. We've got every chance. Come on, believe.
Well, we'll see what happens next episode. However, we of course have to finish with a quiz.
Great.
So buzzing about it.
I'm delighted.
I keep, for anyone who's listening or watching on YouTube, I keep going like that, moving back, because I've got a new microphone and it's really close to my face, and I keep nearly punching it square in the microphone, and it's really annoying me. So apologies if you keep noticing that. So the quiz. We've got multiple choice, true or false, who am I, all that patter. So we're starting with the multiple choice.
Okay.
It was Keogh's birthday yesterday. How old did he turn? 22, 23, 24, or 25?
25.
He's 1 for 1.
Nice.
Yeah.
He's 98 like me.
Yes. Who was the last goal scorer in the Hearts St Mirren fixture?
Is it our last goal scorer?
No, the last goal scorer in the fixture.
Oh, Jesus. Who got their second? Oh, is this the contentious goal? Isn't it?
I can't remember.
Is this not the O'Hara / Gogic one?
Yes,
yeah,
it is.
Because Main scored the first goal, you bastard.
Yes, it is.
Was it given? It was given to Gogic, was it not?
Is that your answer?
I don't know. You're an asshole. I think. Yeah, I think it was given to Gogic.
Correct. Alex Gogic is the last one.
What an arsehole.
I'll be honest, I forgot about that. I just went on it. It just says Gogic 56 or something. But yeah, it was really good because O'Hara celebrated.
Yeah, exactly. Half the crowd thought it was O'Hara. Oh, you are.
Well, I apologise. It wasn't meant to be that.
Fox.
But you got it. You got it.
Yeah.
2 for 2.
By the skin of my teeth.
Right. True or false? This season, Alex Cochrane has more red cards than goals.
Oh, what a cracking question that is.
Thank you very much.
Right, so he's been sent off against Celtic twice. Was the county goal his first goal of the season? Oh, God. Oh, I feel like it might be, but it can't be. Wait, right, think. When else has Alex Coughlin scored? This season, has he scored?
Yeah, it's this season. It's not his time at Hearts. It's this season.
I'm going to say that he scored more goals than he's been sent off.
I don't know what to do now because you've just fucked yourself because it's neither. The answer is false because he has the same. He has 2 goals.
Annoying.
And
2 each.
2
That's so annoying.
If all you'd said there was false, you would have got it. But you specifically said false. He has more goals.
That's fair enough.
I'll give you a half point for that.
Right, okay.
Because you got false.
Thank you.
But you were specific enough.
And I did have the logic to say it might. So the 2 signings off against Celtic.
Yep.
His goal against County. Who else did he score against?
Dundee United at home, 3-1. Humphreys scored his raker.
Oh Jesus! So he did. Was that the equaliser?
Yep. Barry Mackay had a really nice wee pass to play with him. He still got a half point.
Oh no, but I'm kicking myself there.
Got 2.5.
That's annoying.
Right, you're going to hate this question, and it's so unfair.
Jesus.
This is right out the Adam Kennedy question.
Is this a multiple choice, or this is just a?
No, this is just a. It's why it's bullshit, and I do apologise.
Oh Jesus!
How many times in our last 72 meetings with Celtic have we won?
Last 72.
Yeah. I don't know why that's the number, but when I searched for head-to-head, it gave me the last 72 fixtures.
What's this? All comps?
Yeah. If you get this, actually, because it's bullshit, if you get it within 2, I'll give you it.
Oh, that's kind of you.
2 either way.
Do you know what? I've got 3 numbers that are in my head, and I don't think that... I've got 8, 10, and 12 in my head. So if I go for 10, I'll then have 8 as a possible answer and 12 as a possible answer. So I'll say bang on 10.
The correct answer is 12.
Oh! I'll sort of take that.
Yeah, I'll give you that. That's impressive. The fact that you nearly got it bang on is incredible.
I didn't think it was as many as that. I thought that was ambitious. 12 out of 72.
Yep.
Jesus.
I don't know how many draws we have in there. I know it's not just 60 losses, but it's probably close to 60 losses. We almost never draw with them.
5 draws.
Yeah. Right. So 3.5 out of 4.
That's all right.
It's done very well.
All things considered, I'll take it. I would like a who am I, though?
I'm now totally panicking that we've done this person before, but we'll see.
Right, okay.
Right, so I was capped 5 times at under 21 level for my country, but never played for the men's team. Across my time at Hearts, I only played 4 times for the club. I've played in Scotland and America. I have 3 honours to my name, and I've only played more than 30 games at a single club, twice, despite having over 10 clubs. Who am I?
Jesus, wait. Only Scotland and America?
Yep.
I don't think we've done this player before. Scotland and America.
I think if you ask, I think there's one question that if you ask, you'll get it without needing a second question.
Right, okay.
So here's hoping you don't ask that question.
I'm sort of tempted to ask for the clubs in order, but again, like that sort of... No, do you know what I'm going to ask for? I'm going to ask, when did they play for Hearts, McIver?
This individual played for Hearts between 2007 and 2014.
4 appearances in 7 years.
Yes.
Jesus wept. Oh my God.
Who's asked for a fair amount of time.
Being a professional footballer must be amazing.
I know.
They don't even end in that. Like, Kevin Kyle said to me that he earned 200 grand whilst at Hearts.
Yeah.
He spent half of it fucking injured.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God. 4 appearances for Hearts in 7 years.
Yeah.
And they've only played in Scotland and America. I don't have a clue. I do not have the foggiest.
You've still got your other question.
That seems to me like he's like a goalkeeper or something. Like that. You can't be an outfield player and making 4 appearances in 7 seasons. Do I ask for the clubs and just hope that I've picked up where we signed said player from somewhere? I think I do, because I can't ask for anything. Like, I can't think of anything else to ask. So can I have the order of clubs, or sorry, the clubs that they've played for in order, please,
Yes,
McIver?
Ross County, Hearts, East Fife, Airdrie, East Fife, St Mirren, Kilmarnock, Orlando City B, Partick Thistle, Inverness.
So hold on. They nipped over to the States for a little holiday, and they've come back and they're classing that as, oh my God. I don't have a clue who this is. No idea. Ross County.
Yes.
2000. Who did we sign from Ross County in 2007? This is what's wrong with this game. Like, you ask yourself such obscure questions. Why would I know who he signed from Ross County in 2007 as a young whipper? No idea. Oh, God.
Have you got any names in your head at all?
No, I was going to say like Steve Banks or something like that. But I'm pretty sure he came from Dundee United. I've got no clue.
Maybe he came from Ross County.
Is Florida the type of place that Steve would like to go on holiday?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Who knows? Me.
Can you get the clubs again? Please?
Yeah, of course. Ross County, Hearts, East Fife, Airdrie, East Fife, St Mirren, Kilmarnock, Orlando City B, Partick Thistle, Inverness.
Yeah, no Dundee United in there, so I can't go for Steve Banks. Oh, God.
Or maybe you're just misremembering that we signed Steve Banks to Dundee United.
Shut up. I will just have to resort to him, because I genuinely, like, there's nobody else that's entering my brain. Ross County. I don't know. I don't know. I give up. Steve Banks. I don't know. No idea.
Adam has guessed Steve Banks. The answer is going viral on Twitter this week, so I thought of him, Mark Ridgers.
Oh, I thought we signed him from Inverness, so shows what I know.
So did I.
Why did he go viral on Twitter this week?
Because did you see his attempted save against Ayr for the last minute goal?
No.
Oh my God. I need to try and explain this to you. You need to search for it right now.
As well. That is so annoying. I'm going to search it up.
You need to search for it right now. And for the listeners who haven't seen it, basically the ball is played across. There's a nice wee bit of passage played by Ayr, and it's tapped in to the near post for Ridgers, and Ridgers just jumps backwards out the way of it, and people think
what is that?
Yep, there we go.
I've seen that boy Kieran Ashton, who's a Partick Thistle fan, but let's be honest here, Inverness goalkeeper Mark Ridgers definitely had Ayr to win on his coupon last
That's what I was just about to say. Yeah. Everybody started accusing of that, because what is he doing? So yeah, Mark Ridgers. For some reason I had it in my head there that we'd already guessed Mark Ridgers as I did it, and I panicked.
At least I knew it was a goalkeeper.
So yeah, obviously to explain, I was capped 5 times.
2007.
So he played 5 times for under 21s level for Scotland, but never got a full cap. Across my time at Hearts,
I thought he was English. I've had a newt here.
He's from Inverness.
I honestly thought he was English. Sorry, Mark, if you so happen to be watching.
So across my time at Hearts, I only played 4 times for the club. When he was at us, he went on loan to East Fife twice and Airdrie.
Makes sense.
So he only played 4 times. I've played in Scotland and America, all the Scottish teams, and then Orlando. I have 3 honours to my name. One of them, if I can
Is the
actually
cup for us,
get them,
obviously.
is the cup for us in 11-12.
Squad.
And then he's won the Challenge Cup with Inverness twice.
That doesn't count.
And then I've only played more than 30 games at a single club twice, despite having 10 clubs. So for us, he only played 4. For Airdrie, he played 34 in a single season, 10, 11. Then from
how many games did he play over in the States? Can I know that?
He played 27.
For Orlando City B?
For 1 year.
The Yank system's weird because he's not even like I don't even know, like, that's obviously not MLS. So what league is that in? Like, is that a competitive league?
It's MLS Next Pro.
Whatever that is.
Whatever the fuck that is.
The young MLS, in essence.
It's classic. It's the 3rd tier.
United Soccer League side. Okay.
I don't know. But yeah, he played in that.
That threw me off.
I had no idea that he played I thought he was just in Scotland forever.
I'm actually kind of disappointed with myself, but that was wild. Absolutely wild.
I was really worried that if you asked the clubs and heard Inverness was his last club, you would just go, and especially because you were like, oh, he's probably a goalie. I was worried you would just guess Ridgers as like a general thing.
I thought we got him from Inverness. I didn't realise that he was even at County.
I didn't know he played for both Highland clubs.
This is why you need to pay attention to your backup goalkeeper's career.
Exactly.
So, sorry, Mark. I knew that you hadn't played that frequently for us, but I was on the right lines. Just leave it off.
Well, we'll be interested to know if any of yous got Mark Ridgers, and if you have enjoyed this episode, which, if you have, please leave us a review on your podcast platform of choice. It massively helps us. If you've been watching us on YouTube to see Adam struggle to say Steve Banks, then please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It massively helps us. We're at Perth to Paisley on all forms of social media. Also, perthtopaisley@gmail.com if you want to fire us over an email. Adam, where can they get you on all the socials?
You can get me on all the socials to get all my betting tips, just as Mark Ridgers did, at Adam T. Kendall. What about yourself, mate?
I'm at DMcIver22. We'll be back next week to discuss, hopefully, a win in Paisley, but probably not, and anything else that happens in between then. But until then, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Come on, Hearts!